I'm in this leadership course. I'm showing up in my life in a different way. And I now get to teach people in that light. I get to teach people how to be leaders every day in their lives. I get to teach teachers how to run their businesses and how to ground in the art of business, how to set themselves up for success and how to create and how to sustain. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Hello, my name is Yvonne Kingsley, and this is the Seeker and Sage podcast.
Hello. My name is Danni Yvonne, and this is the Seeker and Sage podcast. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. All right, so I'm going to address the elephant in the room. It has been a couple of weeks since I released a new episode, but to be really honest, I've been so busy trying to get everything together with the new yoga studio that I'm opening up here in San Francisco. So there's been a lot going on, and even doing the intro to the podcast felt like, I don't know, it was like the end of the world. It was the biggest task in the whole wide world. But here we are. We're back on the regularly scheduled program. And yeah, I'm going to continue to pull through. So this episode, Yvonne and I talk just about where I'm currently at in life. I share a little more about the project and what's going down, and really just sharing how this is all coming about, and when it's coming about, and yeah, just kind of sharing the journey with everyone as it's so just real and raw and just happening currently in my life. I've had a lot of people reach out on Instagram and ask tons of really awesome questions about the space. So I'm going to invite you all to head over to www.homesf, and that's spelt HAUMSF.com to sign up for the updates. You can go follow us on Instagram. We got a lot going on. Everything's coming together. We're about to announce our teacher lineup, which is super exciting. So yeah, a lot going on. Of course, it wouldn't be the show if I didn't ask you to leave a review on iTunes. So head over to iTunes, show us some love. Let's keep the show alive, going, with the continued support. And yeah, I can't wait to host you in a video class or in person at home. Without further ado, here goes today's show.
Hi, Danny.
Hello, Yvonne.
So we've got a lot to talk about today.
Really? What? What? What could we talk about? I feel like what is there to talk about?
Going on in your world right now? It's just, boring, same old, same old.
Everything is. I'm boring. I do nothing. I have nothing going on.
The antithesis of Danny is doing nothing.
The excitement of my day is drinking this protein shake.
Well, word on the street is you're opening a studio in San Francisco.
What?
I know. It's a rumor,
Who?
But I'd like you to confirm, and I want the details.
Who? And who said that? That is lies. Fairy tale. Well, I'll say this, Yvonne, and I know I kind of we've in many discussions, but I honestly I want to share the statement of we are opening a yoga studio. And people have asked, what's the involvement of people and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you could say that I'm like the business master, the one pulling the strings on the business stuff and all of that. But you really are coming in, I think what people you're coming in with vision, you're coming in with design, you're coming in with, programming, you're coming in with time. And that is, I think time is money, Yvonne, and you're definitely giving your time. So I feel like this is a we thing.
I wholeheartedly want to be a part of this experience. So thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, you've been such an integral part already. I said the other day, I was like, what Yvonne? What's Yvonne's investment? I'm like, the girl answers all of my text messages.
I do. Text messages about flooring and drapes and, just like whatever inspiration is popping in, we have we powwow and we talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember the day we were sitting on my couch and I just straight up, and this was like 2 months ago.
More than that.
It was earlier this year though, for sure. It wasn't last year. It was definitely this year. And I remember looking at you and I was like, Yvonne, if I do a studio, would you do it? And you were like, yeah, I'd do it with you. And that was really it's so us, right? In a casual conversation to do something like, I don't know, a teacher training or go to India.
Yeah. They want to
See
go
what
to
I mean?
India? Sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Want to open a studio? Cool. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Like there's like no precursor to it. It's just always, it's like we're talking about the weather. And the funny thing is it always becomes something more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's something, I mean, obviously, you are my dear friend, and I'm so grateful for your friendship and your support and the relationship that we've built together over the last few years. It's really, it was spontaneous, and yet it felt super organic. And we were always seeming to ride on the same wavelengths in the direction that we were headed and the kind of, what we were seeing for the future in terms of our own personal development as teachers, what it means to be a part of the yoga community here in San Francisco and beyond. So the genesis was really, I think it comes from this understanding that we have towards each other. Just like a real deep, I get you, I see you. And that, I feel like that kind of connection is the foundation for everything that we've done together. Is just that really honest, compassionate understanding. That's our foundation. That has allowed us to create some really cool stuff and do some really fun things.
I agree. And I mean, I think it's so eloquently said, but that at the end of the day, that is what it is. It's the I see you, I get you, I see your practice, I see your study, I see and I don't talk about like reading a book and going on a training, but like you're operating in the world beneath I actually see the theme of things versus the story on top of it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the essence of the person, not necessarily all the commentary on top, which is part of the person as well. But it's like, what is, like you said, how is this person operating? Where are they operating from?
Yes.
What is their underlying intention for showing up and being in the world?
And happen to be a silly gay man as well.
That too. I appreciate all the parts of Danny, including that one.
Yep, it's fun.
Yeah, keeps it lively.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I just, this was, it was starting as like I have to do this thing, and now it's like, no, I want to, and I get to do this thing, and like, dude, low key, like both like normal life and like gay life. I'm living my daddy fantasy. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I get to hold a container and to I've been coaching teachers for the last it's been about 3 years now. Three actual like professional years that I've like had, like teaching client or teachers in yoga studios as clients, and I help them out with their businesses and like help them like create programming and, like launch product this way and And so, it really just makes a lot of sense that this is definitely like the way that I'm going. And I think that teachers need some guidance like that, and it happens to be my superpower. And so this is, I don't know, it just, there's no resistance here.
No resistance. It's been the whole process, which is something that I never thought I would be involved in, to be quite honest, opening a studio, just because having taught at studios and seen what it takes, it's a lot. There's a lot behind the scenes that people don't realize. And the fact that you asked me if I want to be a part of this, and I just said yes without hesitation, to me is clearly that is like a soul level yes. Like I trust you, Danny, and what you're envisioning and your ability to get shit done. Like if anyone's going to open a studio in San Francisco, it's going to be Danny Pomploon.
Damn right.
And I think everyone like can nod their head to that. It's like, yeah, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Danny. And the whole process has been incredibly smooth, like in a really surprising way.
Yeah.
Things are just falling into place.
Mm-hmm.
There
That's
is
right.
so little resistance.
That's right.
And that to me is such a clear indicator that we're on the right path.
Yeah.
And that the thing that we're doing and the home that we're creating is something that we have been called to do. I
That's
believe
right.
that 100%.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's, there's been a lot of learning already. And I feel like I'm surrounding myself with all the right people. I'm definitely holding those that have walked this path before me in high regard. And so far I have learned so much, and I think it is so cool. And I am teaching in a new way. I'm not teaching asana right now. Tonight is my last restorative class.
Yeah.
And I am done teaching asana for a while, for a little bit. I need a break, but I'm in this leadership course. I'm showing up in my life in a different way. And I now get to teach people in that light. I get to teach people how to be leaders every day in their lives. I get to teach teachers how to run their businesses and how to ground in the art of business, how to set themselves up for success and how to create and how to sustain. And that's pretty fucking cool.
Isn't it interesting how everything has led you to this point? And
everything has led me to
and you're
this.
so meant to do this. And it's so clear. This is the next step that you're supposed to be taking.
That's right.
And we don't know oftentimes where our life takes us and what direction we are ultimately moving towards. All we can do is show up every day, be present, be available to what's happening. And then, we get the downloads, we get the aha moments. We're like, oh yeah, it's that. For me, what's been so interesting over the last year since the pandemic and everything shut down is how much I've been drawn towards teaching the meditative practices and putting together meditation programs and, sitting, breathing. And that is just lighting my fire. And I'm so excited about that. And if you had told me a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that I'd be putting together 3-week-long meditation courses, I'd be like, what?
Right.
That's not something that I do, but we just don't know. We don't know. And I think what the last year has really shown us is that there's a certain element of 1, accepting, 2, surrendering, so that we can open up to what's actually making itself known in our lives, and not just be on our own track and follow the plans that we've created for ourselves, but to kind of move with the energy of our lives to see where it is that we are actually headed versus how we think things should be. And I think so many of us have really come face to face with that over these last 12 to 15 months, for sure.
You said it. So, I mean, again, I can relate to the surrendering part because I think you've been there for my surrender, like my shift and my big change where, I'm now going on almost 6 months of this consistent new Danny situation, and it's weird, but it's this sense of surrender. I don't have to, put myself in that jail of managing everyone else's expectations and emotions about me because it doesn't matter. Yeah. And what really lights me up is doing, stuff like this and sitting on that call with the teachers, the one where we called each other afterwards. We were like, oh my God, everyone there was so awesome. Not that I need to qualify this, but I'm going to anyway. And this is not an ego state, but when I got off of that, I was like, wow, these people have either they see me and have seen what I've done and what I'm capable of, and they trust me enough to get on this call with me to hear me out. And that was really cool. That was wow, my work showed through in a different type of way, not the way that I thought it was going to in life, or thought it was supposed to, but in a different way. And that there was enough. you
Isn't
know?
that funny? We think we know what we want in life. We really do. We think we know what we want and how things should be. And
Mm,
sometimes that's just not the case. And we have to be willing to face that and to recognize that oftentimes, not just sometimes, oftentimes, our plans are going to change, whether we like it or not.
yeah.
And it's our responsibility to inquire as to what's happening and to reevaluate, where we're at and what we think we want. And then
Mhm.
perhaps make some concessions, let some things go, and
Mhm.
welcome in other opportunities.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's a process. It's always happening.
Yeah. And because of that freedom, like I have all this
Mhm.
freedom to create.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have all this energy to create.
Yeah. You're
I'm
building, something new. I mean, we're building home San Francisco, home SF.
yeah,
I mean, I think what's important also to share is that it's not just, you and me. For sure, we're putting a lot of our time and energy into
of course.
the vision of it and getting it ready, but it's going to be built by every single person who shows up.
And it's already been, it's already starting to be built by everyone
Yeah.
that's interacted with the idea
Oh, yeah.
and people that have commented on Instagram, and even all the teachers that have spent their time, like within those deep conversations of, getting paid in classes and
Mhm.
things like that. Like the DNA of it is so special.
Mhm.
And I think it's just gonna, I mean, I can make an assumption, right? This could be a projection, but I think it's just coming in from this, we're all coming in from this year of just bullshit,
Mhm. Yeah.
layer after layer after layer. And so maybe I hope that I think that we're going to arrive in there and just be like, we can just be for a little bit.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
just the ethos of home is to welcome
Mhm.
people so that people feel like they belong. The
Mhm.
belonging is so important, especially when we've been isolated
Mhm.
so much without
Mhm.
like face-to-face contact, although thank God things are starting to change and to open up. But you think about how long we were isolated
Mhm.
from each other.
Mhm.
And as humans, we are social beings, so the impact sometimes I think it took me a while because I'm an introvert. I love being alone. I'm a homebody, but I love being by myself. But it took me a little while to recognize. I was like, oh, there's something important missing in my life, and I think we can all relate to that. So for us to create a space for community and just for people to show up and be exactly who they are.
Mm.
I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more from a studio.
Yeah, that's right. That's in the ethos. We really do believe that everyone should be able to experience the transformational journey that is yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Coming back to
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
letting go of like I said earlier, the stories.
Mm.
Stories are sometimes I'm sassy and gay and like or whatever, and then sometimes I'm like loud and rambunctious and da 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 da. Da. But
Mm-hmm.
coming back to the theme, coming back to the
Yeah.
heart.
And also, you can be all the things.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it's more and more so what I really, really integrating into my life is nothing is mutually exclusive. Like,
Mhm.
we be more inclusive um, as to all the dimensions that make up a Danny or
We're like
Yvonne
we're
or
like
whatever.
crystals.
Yes.
We're literally, truly. My friend was
Yeah.
saying it last night. And when you look
Yeah.
at it, when you turn a crystal from the side, it looks different. The light reflects different through
Yeah.
it. It's buried, and then you turn it to one side, and then it's another part of it. But at the end of it, it's one whole piece,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful when we can see it as a whole versus just if you only look at it through the one angle, you
Hmm.
miss the beauty of its entirety.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. What are you most excited? Well, I mean,
What am I most excited
I was
about?
gonna say, what are you most excited about the space? Let's two things to this. I got it.
Okay.
The
Okay.
first thing
Yeah.
is The physical aesthetic of the space. What are you most excited about? That's my first question for you.
Oh, I
I
mean,
know.
where do I begin? Danny and I are design nerds. I mean, we've been geeking out over every little thing, and I hope you guys love it.
And we got the receipts to prove it.
Yes. I'm like, the toilet paper holder, amazing.
So true.
The light in that space and the windows and the views of the entire city, it's breathtaking. It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
And, it's got that warm, the wood floors, which we're refinishing. So they'll be quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
But just being surrounded by the light.
Yeah.
And, we're planning to bring wonderful plants in and to make it really cozy. We're going to make it smell nice. We've been working on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The bathrooms are going to be bomb because we're just really jazzing those up.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's the light and the views. It's pretty spectacular. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So aesthetically, that's what I'm so excited for.
I am excited. I'm excited about practicing in there and seeing the sunset in there.
You're right, because we can see it.
You can see all the city. Like, I'm excited about. I've never been in that space before. Before this project, so I've never practiced up there. I never did anything up there.
Yeah.
And no, just like not even low key. It's like, but it's a thing, but I don't care. The desk.
Oh, we're getting a custom desk.
The front desk is so cool. It's like, I don't know. It's cool. It's super cool. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
What is the first workshop you're going to host in there?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know. I just came up with that randomly.
What is the first workshop?
Like, what do you think you want to offer in there outside of, like, yoga, da 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 da? But what do you want to offer? I have an idea.
I want to do a meditative practice together in there. I mean, it's been so cool offering meditation as a group through Zoom, which is not, it's not ideal, but it's incredible how we can be connected to each other even through the screen, but to be able to sit together and breathe together in the same space. And I so miss that. There's so much, the quality of energy that's present when we are sitting together in community it's incredible. And I just can't wait for that. You
have to do an early morning meditation to see the sunrise in there. That would be so cool.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about you? How about you?
Probably. Well, there's going to be a rule. You cannot handstand in the front row because we don't want you flying out of the windows. That's like a hard rule. Like, no handstanding in the front row. No, I think, honestly, I wouldn't even say, you'd think I'd get excited about arm balances and inversions because that's, my favorite. But I think I can't wait to do a hands-on adjust and assist workshop in there just to get in and touch bodies and move bodies and connect with people. Like, I miss that so much.
Yeah.
I often refer to myself as the adjustment queen. Like, I miss teaching with my hands, I miss helping someone, not even manipulate a body, but like just showing up and being a marker in space and be like, can you find that? Can you find this? Can you touch that? Can you feel that? Like, and have them I just miss touching people. So I can't wait to get a bunch of teachers in there to like touch each other. Like, go in there and like just like love on each other. Like, I can't wait for that.
With consent and respect.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know what else I really miss is live music.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Totally.
Can we talk about who we're bringing in yet?
We can talk about all the things right now. Like, we can definitely talk about.
Danny and I, we've worked with Ege both individually a lot. And he is amazing. And practice, teaching with his unbelievable live music and like all his doodads and instrument. I mean, it's just like a full on orchestra is so magical. And it's like, think about that, the live music in that space. Oh, I can't wait. I miss that. It's been so long.
A deep house flow, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go in there and bump those speakers up. You know what I mean?
Lights down, music up.
Let's
dancing.
Do it.
I miss dancing, Danny.
I'm here for it, girl. I'm here for it. Go dancing with me. It's all the time. Here's a question for you I just thought about.
Okay.
What so far throughout this journey, or through this journey, what have you learned about yourself?
My willingness to do things that scare me. This, I will, no lie, when it really started to, at first it was just this idea that we came up with on a couch, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then it really started to happen.
You're welcome.
And then I was getting a little nervous. I was like, oh God, I'm actually a part of this. I'm on the train. And I was like, do I want to get off the train? I definitely had a little bit of fear around it because this was just so outside of anything I ever thought I would do. And in the past, I've been very staunchly like, oh, I'm never going to open a studio. I'm never going to be part of that. It's not something that I want to do. And now I'm just like, well, actually I am a part of it and I'm really excited about it. And it's a little bit scary, but trusting that, I've got my partner, Danny, and a whole community of teachers and students who are just on board and just to keep moving through it, even in the presence of that, a little bit of resistance and a little bit of the fear, but sensing that there's something larger at play than my fear, than whatever narrative that I had about me not doing something like this. And that was big. I mean, the theme for 2021 for me is expansion. And I was like, well, this is definitely expansion. This is really pushing me to certain edges. And, there's trust and willingness to try, right? To just step out and let's do it.
I mean, there's so much out there.
Yeah. To not play it small, which is, I've kind of had a lot of that in my past. I'm not a big risk taker by nature, but to say yes to life, to say yes to the things that scare me and to, there's that leap. There's that leap. If I don't do it now, it's like life is short. You never know what's going to happen. And I think more and more I'm just willing to say yes and try. Yeah.
I hope you know that as long as we're friends, I'm going to keep pushing you to do.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know, Danny.
Careful what you say around me.
Well, how about you? What's been?
I think for the first time I trust people. I want to say that, I definitely do. And for the first time, although it takes a little while to get there. Because I like to be in control. We can unpack that later.
That's for another podcast.
Right. That's like a whole series.
You and I could talk on that for forever. So yeah.
I'm in, girl. I'm in. I think that I just am leaning into the support. I'm asking for help and taking it, really taking it. And Lizzie said this, but she was like, you have so many people supporting you. And I was like, fuck, I do. And I feel it. I feel it. I feel the questions being answered from everybody, you included. And, the sessions of volleying ideas from friends that aren't even involved. And, people actually do want to help me. And, and it's not just that. It's and I deserve it because I'm here and I exist in the world and I deserve that. And I feel that now. Yeah. I feel that now in my being. I really do fully feel it. Like I deserve it because I'm here.
Mm. It's sometimes it's so hard for us to acknowledge that.
Oh my God. That's like, I'm getting
Like
emotional
how
saying
often do
it.
we go through life feeling like we don't deserve the things? We don't deserve the things. It's so interesting.
Or that we
So
have to
I'm
work hard for them. Like,
mm,
it could be a lot of work. Yeah. But it's just, you have to gruel. You have to like, I don't know. Do I have to choose to suffer through it all or like tell my story that I'm like suffering through it all? Like,
mhm.
I don't have to do that to myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah.
Anything else that you'd like to share about home? Any
I
plan
mean,
or
yeah, I'm just stoked. Like, I'm just
that's
so
it.
pumped, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
It's coming in soon too. Yeah.
my life is about to change, and like
Mhm.
all of our lives are about to change in some sort of way. And I'm just ready for it. I'm ready to be a dad. Like, I'm ready to
Mhm.
like, hold this baby for, for the babies. I'm ready to
Yeah.
hold the baby for the babies, I'm
Yeah.
like, get people in there. Let's like sweat on each other. I know that sounds weird, but like I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
Like, like I want to bump into people on a stairwell and like I want to like go in there and hug and
I
go
know.
eat dinner with students after class and I'm ready and I just I'm like I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm going to fuck
Mm.
it up time and time and time again.
Mhm.
And I'm going to learn. I'm going to keep trying and I'm going to keep trying. And I'm sure I'm going to fuck it up some more along the way. And I'm just going to keep trying and keep
Yeah.
learning and be open to that
Yeah.
and not have to have all the answers.
No.
Yeah.
Like not at all.
Yeah.
You know, it's your first time opening a yoga studio. So
Hmm.
there's the first for everything and you will really learn by doing. I mean, that applies to all areas of life, but you are learning to be a studio owner by doing it.
Yeah. And it's so much bigger than me. I think that's what I'm
Mhm.
really like excited about is that it's so much bigger than me and I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, Yvonne. It's totally
It's
like,
kind of like we're kind of like this, the spark, you know,
yeah.
the spark for the fire.
Yeah.
Someone's got to get it going,
Yeah.
and then everyone will pour themselves into it.
Hmm. And there's going to be a beautiful container, I think, where people will get to process a bit maybe to get to this point where I'm at today because of the container that I had. But,
Yeah.
I'm
I
really,
honestly feel like I'm gonna like cry every time I teach in there for like a little while. Like I'll just be like the little tears going. Like even
okay.
thinking
Yeah.
about it now, I'm just kind of like getting a emo over here.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm like, I just got off the phone with, a friend and we were
Hmm.
talking about the space and I was crying before this because what I had
Hmm.
said was I looked 12 years ago, almost close to the day where, I tried to take myself off of this planet,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I had this, space to go to
Yeah. It.
and it held me and it just, it let me be who I was and it let me show up with my story and my suffering and all of my pain, all of my hurt. It
Mhm.
didn't kick me away. It didn't make me be anything else. It just let me be.
Yeah.
And I know there are other people in this world, and even sometimes when I dip and things like that, it's nice to have that space. So I'm
Yeah.
excited to. This is a first on the podcast. I'm excited to have that space and to create that
Yeah.
space, and not like a here you go, but like just it's there if you need it.
Yeah. I think that's so important. And that goes, back to a place where people can just be exactly as they are.
Yeah.
And, even if you're moving your body through flow or whatever it is, the thing that changes on the inside is, for me, it was like when things got quiet. Like, what's that?
Yeah.
What's a mind that's quiet where I'm not trying to manage everything all the time? And the space, not only the physical space, but the practice itself, regardless of where you are, can give us the doorway into that inner quiet.
Yeah.
And then that's where we can be with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited, Yvonne, and I'm glad you're doing this with me.
Me too. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for saying yes.
Kind of how things work between you and I. It's like, want to do this? Sure. Who knows what's going to come next? My God.
Yeah.
It's going to be it's an adventure. It's an adventure.
We'll see where it goes. Just keep doing what we're doing, I think. And we can't wait to have everyone in the space.
Yeah.
So stay tuned, because we will let you know. We'll be yelling the top of our lungs when we're ready to go.
Yeah. So many ways to be a part of home. So we're excited. We want y'all to be there.
And we can't wait to see you there.
Exactly.
Until the next Seeker in Sage, this is Danni and Yvonne saying peace out.
Peace. Much love, everyone.